Lisa's email.
Okay, I think we're back. We're back on it.
That was
I think
depressing.
we're all back. So at 10:01, we're back in business. Our meeting recess is over. We're back in session. I don't know about you folks, but I'm pretty spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should maybe look at some, let what these folks said sink in and do some homework, see how we can address them. And, maybe we can look at the schedule and see what we want to do for meetings.
Can we, I'm afraid to ask this question because I know it could get into a lengthy thing. So we can simply say, no, not right now. Do we want to talk about any of the feedback that we want to see addressed that we can address, and then we can do homework on that particular topics? Because we don't necessarily need to go back to the drawing board for every person's comment we ever get. We're going to get opinions about everything the entire time. We've had plenty of educated conversation ourselves. There's things that we did get new opinions about and new perspectives on that we should definitely revisit. But should we make like a quick synopsis list of topics that we agree or more?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. We need to clean up the Ken's issue, however we're going to do that. And then we got to, clean up, the truck idling, whatever. And that was pretty much it. I think a lot of the concerns, once we explained them, were satisfactory. I mean,
we had the beginning of the bylaw where they talked about notwithstanding recommendation in terms of unless further on line 30. That's one. There's the religious exemptions
Unless
and so forth out of back.
defined.
Yeah.
Also, maybe being more specific about who in the enforcement piece, who will be responsible, who will be getting fined. I think we need to clarify that too.
Well, my computer's going to restart for a security update in a minute. So I'll be
dead.
I'll be dead.
The other thing
Actually,
the other thing that came up that I haven't really thought too much, I haven't thought it through fully, but the distinctly audible versus unreasonable disturbance, could we pick one and just keep that throughout? Just a thought. I haven't thought it through.
Yeah, the distinctly audible was at least something that you could articulate was a standard. Like it wasn't as vague as the other one.
Unreasonable disturbance.
Yeah, like what is that? Yeah, at least distinctly audible was something like, yeah, I could actually attest that I could hear the song. It was, I recognize the song, or I heard the conversation. It was about, whatever, where an unreasonable disturbance is what was it? Like, I don't know that it's and that was something that came from, I had actually never heard that until Chief Paulus brought it up.
I think that's fair. We could probably pick one or the other.
But I think that, maybe at the next meeting we can pick that, pick what we want to do, buff this up a little bit, and then we could also talk about the how we're going to program it.
So
And
what's our ending state here, guys? Because I mean, like, we keep going, we got things that adjust, we got to pick like a finish line. Like we know that at the end of the month it needs to be reviewed by legal. We know it needs to go through advisory. It has to go through select board. Select board is then going to probably make whatever changes they decide to make, run it back through legal. There's timing associated with all this. Then we have to get ready for the town meeting, which we have some more time to get ready for. So right now we're on the 9th, which is our last scheduled meeting at the moment. But like, I don't want to say our finish line keeps moving, but our finish line keeps moving. Like, we need to kind of pick
Well,
The selectmen said at the last meeting, the April 5th selectmen's meeting is the final straw. That's when we have to have it all done and wrapped up. So,
Mark Purple sent an email and said that they're just waiting for us to have our legal review for us to wrap up because they're trying to close the warrant.
do you think we could probably do this next Wednesday?
Can I ask a question? So
Sure.
I know that we have to get something to the BOS and they're gonna make final cuts on it. And that's what we're gonna have to use for our presentation. So when do we need to have it to the BOS? Because it sounds like April 5th, it needs to be in the warrant, right?
No, I think that they said that the selectmen's meeting. My notes say that that the April 5th is when they make the final printing for the warrant. This is my understanding when I went.
Yeah, like they vote on it. They vote on it at that point. So by the time it gets to April 5th, we have to have gone through legal review. We have to, so we did a version already, but if we're gonna make more changes, we have to send it back again and say, do you have any more feedback? So we need to give ourselves time to do that. So April 5th is when the select board, it has to make their final call on it. But we need to kind of wrap up pretty much, I would say, next week. We need to not nuke this thing next week between now and then and say, okay, we thought about this topic, we solved it by this. We thought about this topic, we solved it by this. And try not to nuke things. So that way we can send it back out to the select board, back to advisory and say, this is where we're at. Final comments, we addressed all your comments. Here's where we're at, and just let it stand there unless they have anything major. But we have to get from a working document to a final document, and we need to define what that path is because we keep moving things.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can't meet next Wednesday. It's my wife's birthday. But Monday or Thursday work for me next week.
Monday or Thursday works for me. How about, you want to do Thursday?
I was just thinking that if everybody could move Monday, that would be better probably to get it done.
Mondays are really, really difficult for me.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Yeah.
How about Tuesday?
I got another meeting from 7 till 9 on Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm never retiring.
I think Thursday's St. Patrick's Day.
You got your green on tonight to get ready.
We can drink while finishing it.
We can have our meeting at Owens.
I have company. Oh, rats. I have company next Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, crud. All right. Thursday, Thursday, I guess, is really like the only night I can do it. You'll have to understand.
I mean, just thinking out of the box, we can do it on a weekend. That's easy for anybody.
Seriously?
We did a Friday night pretty late.
This is my life now. This is my life.
I know.
I mean, we have probably not enough time. I was going to say, what about another Friday? But I don't really want to do that. But I'm just actually no, it's a bad idea. Let's not do that.
I can't do next Friday. I'm going to Maine on the weekend. I'm probably doing Friday night.
Okay, so unfortunately, either if we want to meet next week, we either have to pick a day that somebody has to give up another obligation or somebody can't come. So those are our options if we want to meet next week.
Well, we can't make it on Thursday.
Would this Thursday work for everybody?
St. Patrick's Day, sure.
Like
Okay.
I say, let's meet at Owens.
So
I've been in their
Okay with our
kitchen.
laptops
I've been
at
in
the
their
table,
kitchen.
We'll get thrown out of there. We're making too much
Westeros
noise.
better than the Southborough Owens.
Oh, I don't want to know that because like Owens is where I eat most of the time.
Oh, okay.
All right, I guess the 17th, you want to do it at 7 o'clock? Hopefully, if we do it early, then we can get out early.
Yeah, 7 o'clock's fine.
It's Tuesday.
All right, I'll post a meeting that we're gonna just basically, we'll make it short. We're just gonna basically go over the document and see if we can come up with a final.
Yeah, we
We
said
can
that
address
before.
those concerns from the advisory. Does anybody else want anything else on the agenda?
Well, public comment, but that's always on there. We need to close
Yeah.
public comment.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
we-
tonight?
We'll
Yeah,
close
we-
it at the end. Because Heather's
anyone
still in
out there?
attendance, in case she wants to say something.
Nobody's there, but it's,
I was gonna leave.
Good night, Heather. You've done a
Good
great
night,
job.
Heather.
Heather.
Thank you.
Heather.
Put you in for some overtime.
so just because I want to try to book a room, I don't want another meeting. I really don't want another meeting unless we're doing other things. What other days should I book besides the 17th so we have a room should we want it?
The following
the-
Wednesday?
The
Yeah, the
23rd?
23rd. Lee, are you free the 23rd?
If that week, if we need that meeting, I can make myself available. I've got an educational thing I was going to do, but that's all right. I can do this instead if we need to. Particularly if we choose 7 o'clock, because that meeting doesn't start till 8.
Yeah. So that'd be unofficial, Tim. I won't do a thing yet on that, but if you want to
That's
reserve.
fine. I'm just grabbing the room. So in case we
Yeah.
want it, we have it.
I get it.
I'll put it on my calendar so I
I'd
don't.
like the Ken's would. I'd like to not have it on my calendar that week.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost there, folks. We're almost there.
Yeah, we've been saying that for 3 weeks.
If the only thing we really got blown up with is trying to solve the Ken's issue, which we haven't really been able to, which we thought we
No.
were close on. You know, we thought we had something that was sufficient. If that's the only thing that they had major comments about, I feel like we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, I think their feedback was more about how do we handle the questions
Right.
Yeah.
versus, because I think the bylaw is very simple. It's just how we handle the unexpected.
Yeah, so if we come up with our top 5 of concerns, all right, what are the top 5 hot topics about this bylaw? Ken's Foods, leaf blowers, party, like, I don't know, we'll come up with them, whatever.
I mean, we need like 3. We need like a top 3, you know?
But
Yeah,
whatever.
I would pick
whatever we decide,
the
but-
top 3. Tell a story, tell how we hope that this will
Right.
solve or not solve the issue, and turn it over to them.
But that's gonna be part of the presentation. That's not gonna be part of what we're doing
Right.
next week.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's, we have months to, we have a couple months to figure that out.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So we got some sort of thought starters. We have a next meeting scheduled. We have a sort of a schedule that we need to walk away next week feeling comfortable, and then we all need to take a vote on, which you might want to put that down as a specific item on the agenda, is we take a vote on this thing, whether we support it or not.
Yeah.
And I think it's a straightforward, support it as written or not support it as written. I think that's what we need to agree on.
Yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, you're right. I mean, at that point, it needs to be a binary choice, just like, adopting this as our current draft.
And then from there, we just need to, then from there, we kick it down the road. Well, I don't want to say kick down the road. We kick it to all the other boards and let them get their say in it. But, ultimately what it should do is we get done next week, we agree on it, we vote on it as written, give the legal reviews it again, goes from there to advisory, there to select board. Select board can make whatever changes they want. If they make changes, they give it back to advisory and us and say this is where we're at, and then we have a version that would get printed.
Yeah.
I think I just outlined the process with maybe going to advisory twice. Might go to select board first and then back to advisory after.
It would be select board first.
Yeah.
All right, so a show of hands on closing public comment. We have a unanimous.
Well, actually, we do we have to ask for public comment if there's any more before we close it?
There's someone there.
Yeah, there's one person there now.
I thought there was nobody there. Okay.
Well,
Now there is.
now there is.
Grant came back.
All right,
But
go ahead.
Okay.
any last minute public comment before we close it? Seeing
Grant,
none.
did you say something to Grant? Grant, did you want to Did you want to comment?
That looks like a yes.
Okay, yep.
Great, look at get your microphone off, but go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for hearing me. Grant Barrington, 58 Flag Road. Yeah, just a quick comment. Sorry, I was just coming back from the advisory meeting. Yeah, just regarding the legal holidays, I think it would be better off personally and simpler to understand for a town meeting to just list either federal or state holidays or something rather than actually listing out a list of specific holidays. I think when people generally think of, what work is allowed or whatever, they generally think in terms of, oh, it's a federal holiday. So, I think becomes unnecessarily confusing when you think, oh, it's a federal holiday, but this federal holiday is not included in the noise bylaw. So I think it just adds an unnecessary degree of complexity, and I would urge you to either, depending on what you guys want, but to either adopt either the federal list or federal and state list if you want to be more restrictive. But I think that would just be easier for town meetings to understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Grant.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Grant.
Yeah, although we were trying to be less restrictive instead of more restrictive by not including things like Juneteenth, Martin Luther King Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, Veterans Day.
Right,
That's why we didn't include them,
right.
because many people do work on those days.
Okay, with a show of hands to close
Oh,
public comment.
I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second,
I'll second the motion. All those in favor?
I
Aye.
It's unanimous. Are we all set to adjourn?
So
No.
moved.
We were gonna go back to approving the minutes.
Oh, yeah, we had to,
Sorry.
that's why I asked. Test question,
Sorry.
Cindy passed. What was that meeting?
So the
Both,
3-2,
3-2
the
and-
3-2 from John and the 3-4 from Lee.
yeah.
Is everybody cool with approving those?
I did not get to see Lee's yet, but I saw John's.
And I just corrected an error on mine, which I didn't change the date. So when I copied Lee's or the previous date, I had the wrong date on it. So I just sent the correct 3-2 date went out.
So so I'll make a motion to approve noise bylaw comments 3/2/22 version 2 as written.
Okay, I'll second that. Everybody comfortable with the show of hands on approving that one?
Yep.
That's unanimous.
Mhm.
How about 3-4? I'll make a motion that we.
Tim said he hadn't read it yet.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. So if we could wait
Okay.
till next.
We can do that next week.
We'll put that one off.
Lee, you did an awesome job on those minutes.
I started with your template and just,
That was really, really difficult to capture everything that we did. You did a
Thank you.
great job.
thank
So,
you.
John, are you sending out the revised 3-2?
I did that about a half hour ago.
Okay, because I'll forward that to the meeting people. All right, any other business before the committee?
I just wanted to I don't know if you saw it, but Deb Demuria had sent me some suggestions to address the commercial landscaping noise. I thought it was an interesting way to present it, so it wouldn't single out just leaf blowers. But she sent an email. I sent it off to you all, and I was hoping that you would just take a look at it, and obviously there's still people that have concerns about landscaping and leaf blower noise. And as Marcy said today, it wasn't really addressed in the noise bylaw, and that we may get some pushback from people in the community around it. And they may say, nope, we don't want this because you haven't addressed it. So just
what do you think about I'll just throw this out here as like a last minute thing, but what if we had something that, like, we had some restrictions that kind of got thrown out, like the leaf blowers and the, 6 dB over like, what if we had a piece that we kind of would have in our arsenal that maybe we want to share with the selectmen, maybe we don't, maybe we want to have it in our back pocket to throw at the town meeting floor. I don't know, but to maybe address those kind of things. I don't know. It's just maybe a strategy, just something to think about. But we like you say, the survey did say leaf blowers. Right now we don't think it's going to fly, and that's the way we've been guided. But we also owe some.
So it would not be unreasonable to have an amendment in our back pocket that we could throw out there.
Right.
One that was already sort of like pre-written and agreed to.
I personally take the stance that if that's what we're going to do, we should then put it into the document we present to the select board and
let them strip it out.
And let them strip it out. And then if you want it in your back pocket, you just re-input the section that was amended. So if that's the case, that would be my stance and how I would end up supporting it.
However you want to do it, but I think we should have something like, we've had some restrictions that they threw out, and we had them in there for good reason. And we listened to them, and we should,
I also, to that point, I want to reiterate the timeline that we just said. We've been back and forth.
Here we go again.
We've been back and forth on this.
Yeah.
Wherever we land at the end of next meeting, we need to land at a final document with a final vote that we take, that we support or don't support where we're going, because otherwise we're going to just go in an endless circle. So
exactly.
To that point,
it doesn't hurt to do our homework. And if we have an auxiliary document.
I added it to my homework list, and we should discuss it next week.
Just something to think about, folks. That's all.
I mean, take a look at what she suggested. We certainly got feedback from, I think it was Ms. Cahill about, don't try to, just focus on one piece of equipment. So Debbie had an interesting way to address the noise, the amount of time that those pieces of equipment are used. So it's something to look at. And then, that's what I was saying last week was, why couldn't we leave the leaf blower thing in there, that we would exempt the cemeteries, and that at least it would address some of the noises that were considered intrusive to our residents. And if the BOS doesn't want it, they can take it out.
But
So
Lisa, one thing that I noticed on Deb's when she was talking about the amount of time, it's like, okay, so the amount of time, on this property and then on that property, if it's two different contractors, how do you control that? If it's, I thought it was interesting, but it's like, if there's a lot of details that would have to be worked out around that. But everybody should take a look at it with just to keep it in mind for next week, definitely.
Okay. On a different topic, so I can make sure I send out the right documents. John, you're taking minutes tonight?
Yep.
So we need V9. And what
Correct.
other documents do we need? We have the one that we started with, which was V8, edited from legal.
Yeah, and we have that, and then I need
And
V9 from you.
minutes that we approved.
Okay, so I just need to send V9 though. Like I don't need to send some other markup version of V8 before I resaved it, because it's the same as V9, just renamed.
Right.
Okay. Got it.
Actually, can I just mention, Lee, on your minutes, that's right, I
Yeah.
almost forgot about that. It included, the documents included by reference was just the bylaw Rev 7. Should Rev 8 be in there also? Because that's what we finished with.
It's V8 was included with the last minutes.
Okay, all right,
So, and all the, and V7's in public domain already, so
okay.
I don't think we need to re-include it.
Okay,
Just for a point of order, I'm going to share V9 with the acting chief.
Okay, very good.
that's a great
And-
idea.
Peter, we need to make sure the acting chief is at the town meeting, because we need to have him stand up and defend and endorse the bylaw.
Okay.
'Cause
We
I think
should
that,
add-
yeah,
We should add him to one of our future meetings, if not next week, another one when we start to draft the documents we have after select board pieces. Like, I would suggest next week, so if he has any final comments, we can at least try to address an acting perspective. Pete, you got your perspective, which I think goes a really long way in that department. But it'd be nice to have some kind of firepower as we hand it off to the select board.
I did reach out to him, and he used to work in Nantucket, and he was the one who he told me about. I guess they had quite a civil matter out there with the meters. The town ended up had to pay out. So I don't know the details, but he said it was expensive.
Even more reason for feedback in the meeting
Yep.
because it's one of the most experienced people in enforcing some kind of noise legislation.
Yeah. All right, I will send that to him right now, and I sent the approved meetings out just now, and there was something, Bonnie Faniff sent me something, I think I remember just going through it quickly. If I find it, I'll send that out to oh, here we go.
Oh, do we need to
Everybody
share?
in the 9th hour wants to shoot out, all kinds of stuff, so.
Yeah.
But I'll send it out.
Do we need
All right,
to?
folks. Do I have a, go
One more
ahead, Tim.
question before we do that. Do we need to share, because we did just discuss it to some degree, do we need to share Deb's version as well with the minutes?
You guys haven't looked at it, right?
I
So
mean,
maybe next week?
yeah, I haven't looked at it, but we had comments about it, so I guess, I'm just asking that question out loud, so I don't know.
I don't know.
We've only said that we received it and what it's general. We haven't
Yeah.
talked about it, so.
Yeah. We haven't done anything with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's our homework.
Yeah.
okay, Peter, for the third time.
Come on. Break Tim's little finger off, will you?
Well, I make a motion
He
that,
keeps going like this. One
is-
more.
is there a motion to adjourn?
There
Yes.
is a motion to adjourn. Yes.
I missed it. I agree.
And John seconded it.
Yeah.
Right, John?
Second,
We have thumbs up all the way around.
I'm from Chicago. I'll vote twice. No, I'm not from Chicago.
Good night.
Another quiet, slow evening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have no
All right.
hair left by the time this is over, by the way.
We should go back and count how many hours we actually have.
No, if somebody does that, no.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well,
I
there might
actually
be
was
some, there
gonna
might
do
be some
that.
for the
I'm
introduction at town
really
meeting.
into